EVO 2024 has concluded, and of course by now you all know we have crowned our champion, Punk de God, claiming the first EVO first place finish in the modern era for the mainline Street Fighter title of the tournament. So Punk takes first place in Street Fighter 6. But going into this tournament, there was of course a reigning champion looking to defend his EVO title. I'm talking about the EVO 2023 champion, Angry Bird over here. And while his brother-in-arms there, Big Bird, was trying to defend the title and bring it back home in grand finals, he ultimately fell to Punk. Angry Bird also was in the tournament and had a really good run. But of course, as we all know now, it's no spoiler at this point, he didn't make it to the grand finals. So what happened to Angry Bird at EVO? What were his key matches where he was actually defeated, and who took down the reigning EVO champion? We're gonna go ahead and analyze the matches that were on stream when Angry Bird was defeated. But first, it's important to understand where this player has been, because after winning EVO 2023, he went on a little bit of a hiatus, a little bit of a period where he wasn't playing too much. He came back to win FAV Cup shortly before Capcom Cup, and at Capcom Cup, he actually had a relatively disappointing performance for his level. He was in that group of death, Group F, with the players Mena RD, Kaba, Ending Walker, Near the Boxer, and Lashar, and only 2 people can get out of that group, when he ultimately didn't make it out, where Lashar and Mena RD ended up getting out of that group. But after having kind of a lull in his performances, trying to qualify for Esports World Cup and failing to crack top 8 multiple times, he ended up taking first place at the mix-up Lyon in France over there, winning it all and taking his qualification to the Esports World Cup right before EVO, showing that he was in good form going into this EVO. And yeah, he actually had a really good performance. So let's go ahead and get into it. Let's take a look at the matches and let's see. Wait, am I looking at the wrong one? Wow, look at that. EVO 2023 top 96 Angry Bird versus Momochi 8 months ago. Whoops, let me pull up the right match. Okay, so this is actually winner's quarterfinal of the bracket. The winner of this would make it into top 24 winner side and then have to win one more match to get into the top 8 winner side. And Angry Bird's first opponent here is Momochi, and Momochi right now is on a tear. He is basically revolutionizing Ed in Street Fighter 6, and Ed actually had a lot of representation in the top 24 and top 32 of this tournament, top 64. He was all over this bracket. A lot of Ed players, high-level Ed players, went really far in this bracket, but he was revolutionizing Ed's gameplay by introducing the Dream Combo to the masses, the desync combo, whatever you may call it. Japan, it's referred to as the Dream Combo, and you'll see it utilized in this set, where basically with Ed's level 2, it's a pivotal conversion with Ed's level 2, where it requires a manually timed heavy blitz pickup, where you have to delay manually a few frames to pull the opponent out of the level 2 and to do a bunch of manual timed uppercuts and conversions in order to maximize the damage, corner carry, and meter building potential. And it really just on all those variables, it raises Ed's potential really highly. It takes a lot of execution, but the resource building, the positioning, the damage, it's so much better than a regular level 2 conversion, and you will see that utilized in this set and basically all of Momochi's sets. But Angry Bird, on the other hand, he was flirting with Akuma for a little bit. He came out to say Akuma is not for me, strong character but not enough life, a little unstable for him in tournament. But here we go, perfect parry through the fireball to approach. I mean, this is pretty standard at this point. He didn't do the parry drive rush option select to get through, but perfect parry timing at the top level, you'll see that's so key for high level players. They're so consistent at perfect parrying fireballs. They practice reacting to those in training mode for sure to learn the perfect parry timing. It makes a huge difference in terms of controlling the neutral. Immediate attack there. So the step kick, oh, look at the drop conversion. This is pretty key. So this is a tool that Ken can actually kind of abuse against Ed, because Ed has rather weak light. So step kick is -4 on block, but Ed's crouching light punch and standing light punch, the 4-frame jabs that he has, are very short range, extremely short range. His crouching light kick has great range, but that's a 5-frame move. So his punishes on -4 things that are spaced are really weak. His punishes in general, -4, are weak damage-wise, but they're almost non-existent if you space things out. So a lot of the times, if you do run step kick, it's basically just safe entirely, or he gets a really bad punish, like just a crouching jab, and that's it. But Momochi here, he goes for crouching jab, and then he tries to, I don't know what this is, crouching heavy kick. That's not going to combo in any way into the DP. The only thing I can think of is he bumped that on accident. He wanted maybe crouching light kick into DP. I don't know what happened there. That was a big flub for sure. So pressure to Angry Bird. Throw into the corner. Look at the drive rush jab. I love this. Drive rush jab to halt the momentum to get a plus frame mixed point blank situation. And instead of going for the throw, immediate backdash shimmy. Momochi bites. How could you not? How could you not? He's in your grill. You got a throw tech, of course. But in this game, throw techs have a lot of recovery. So if you are plus and you backdash to bait a throw, you for sure can punish it. So big stand fierce punish counter. Meterless conversion right there to secure the knockdown. I like the lack of drive rush as well. I think if he did a drive rush extension, he might have been able to get close to putting him in throw range, but he probably would have to had spend level 1 and burn all his resources. Because of that, he knows he's going to have to get another interaction to get within a 1 throw touch away from killing. And getting the life bar below 1 throw of health is really good, because that means the next guess will kill. A throw, shimmy, that the strike throw is the main mix in the game. So Angry Bird recognizes that there's not a good way to safely get Momochi to that level. So instead of burning any drive meter on this conversion, he just does it meterless. Something that I've been trying to improve at myself is to not just mindlessly burn meter on punishes if they're not going to lead into a situation where the next interaction will kill. Because say he loses the offense, things can go south real quick. So this is a really good, safe, damaging conversion right here. Throw text. Driver chat back in. Backs up to get the range for the throw. A range for the DP. Oh, misses the shimmy there. It works out. So you can see the expert corner control here, you know, backing up after exerting his offensive pressure here after the throw tech. It's really good to get your offensive pressure, and if it doesn't land, backing up is very good, because if he had walked forward, for example, to do more stagger pressure or to go for a throw, Momochi would be able to jump out of the corner. And sure, Ken with Angry Bird with Ken could do a crosscut DP, uppercut the other way, but Momochi would pay that tax to get out of the corner and potentially have the space to make a comeback. So Angry Bird knows he just needs to cage him. So after the jab, it doesn't connect, just backs up to be in a range where he can anti-air and keep Momochi on the right side of the screen. Lands it. This time he actually goes for the throw. Goes for a little shimmy. The shimmy connects, or he baits the throw successfully. He goes for stand light kick here, drive rush cancel, but he was out of range for the stand light kick to connect. And if you do drive rush cancel on lights, it'll come out even on whiff. So he gets a drive rush come out raw, but drive rush jab saves the day. Gets a few staggers and gets the final throw. So excellent corner control that whole round from Angry Bird. Stand medium kick represented from Momochi. Such a strong button. Kind of like throwing a fireball, though. It's very easily jumped, but super strong far range control of that button. Step kick once again. Same idea. This is the punish that Momochi won it last time, where he accidentally got crouch heavy kick. So he's going a little bit too deep, but Momochi is prepared to punish. Crouching light punch is the 4-frame punish counter, links to crouching light kick into the medium DP. So yeah, he messed up that conversion before. If Angry Bird spaces out a little bit further, he won't be able to get that punish. Wake up Abare buttons from Angry Bird. Momochi's trying to respect the wake up DP, and Angry Bird takes that respect and turns it into his offensive momentum. Jinrai's in, no perfect parry. First reversal there from Momochi. Step kick in again. You see here, like, even though he earns this DP knockdown, he goes for the fake fireball to, you know, bait a reaction out of Angry Bird right here. But he immediately backs up, builds a little bit of space, back run in step kick. Either Momochi's going to run into it or it's going to be safe on block. He's able to just, like, immediately turn the tides back into his offense because he knows that he can harass with step kick. Sure, he got punished one time, but he knows it's useful in the matchup and his strategy, so he's going to keep utilizing it there. Yep, excellent punish here from Momochi. So Jinrai is super strong, but if done point blank like this, it's actually punishable on the second hit. -5, I believe. It's at least -5. I don't know if it's -6. I forget exactly. But crouching line kick, super far punish into the OD blitz. No dream combo, so basic level 2 conversion there from Momochi. The dream combo, the combos I mentioned earlier where you pull them out of the level 2 orb, you have your back kind of to the corner. So with this variation, this is the best conversion you get. DP towards heavy punch, command dash, punch ender, heavy DP, corner time, pseudo safe jump. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. So this is a manually timed safe jump, so it's kind of fake. So this was like a fake empty jump here. And then he baited out the parry from Angry Bird, but he actually wasn't able to react in time to get back in to get the throw. So, you know, when someone whiffs a parry, the guaranteed punish is to get the throw, but you got to be a little bit quick. They nerfed the parry recovery to make it easier to do that in this patch, but yeah. Momochi didn't quite walk far enough in, and they literally pressed throw at like the exact same frame. Brave of Momochi, by the way, to press stand jab there, because who knows who had frame advantage, right? Low on drive meter, low on life. Angry Bird in the corner. Uses one of his last bars to get to the other side. Takes the meaty stand fierce, put him in burnout. Very strong round for Momochi. No DP. This was an ambiguous jump. I like this jump. He backs up again, and at this range, this is where he was representing earlier, run step kick. So this time, instead of doing run step kick, he backs into this range and then jumps. Momochi could have for sure done medium DP, but spaced out empty jumping on Ed is very powerful because his DPs are very slow and it forces you to have to think about your anti-air option. So that was a really smart empty jump from Angry Bird, and Momochi theoretically could have medium DP'd it, but he wasn't ready for it, and so it's really smart for Momochi to not have his reflexes baited to whiff a DP right there. Yeah, stand medium kick. I think once he committed to the target combo, he just let it rip all the way. So this is stand medium kick is a super far reaching button from Ken. I think he thought it was going to connect right there. It has a target combo for knockdown follow-up, but it's very punishable on block. Final round of the first game here. No DP as well. Yes, Ken's jump in, I think, is a great way to call out an Ed that is focusing heavily on the ground game. Jump Fierce hits super low to the ground. It's hard to use Ed stand heavy kick against it, and you just have to be really paying attention. So Momochi, once again, it's like, oh, I'm not ready for this. I'm just going to block, right? Choosing to not check something that you know you're not ready for and just accepting it and blocking is very powerful in this game, because the worst thing that you can do is try to react to something that you're not ready for and then get counter hit. So nice block from Momochi, but Angry Bird earns the offense here. Throw, drive rush low, mixing in the drive rush jab game, misses the tick throw. Dangerous situation, but here he goes back to the control game. Oh, that could have been gnarly. So he actually goes for this stand heavy kick here. I'm not sure if the hurt box retracts when Ed does light flicker, but look at the spacing from both players. He basically gave Ed a shave right there, and then the flicker punish countered him. Ed can get a full juggle combo from this, but you got to be really ready for it. So Momochi is a little late in the drive rush and misses it, but he could have got a full stand medium to command dash punish or stand medium into OD flicker right there. So doesn't get the reward there, but he works out of the corner. Drive rush jab again. Such a staple technique from Angry Bird and Momochi. Anytime there's like a gap in the neutral and he's at that range to do immediate drive rush jab, he's going to take that opportunity. And you can see here, even Momochi preemptively neutral jumping. The jab whiffs. More than enough time to get an easy DP there. Angry Bird has the corner once again. Drive rush jab. Too good. Forces the mix. Every time you block that drive rush jab, he's plus on block. Forces a strike throw mix up. It constantly forces you to guess. So this time he lands the shimmy, and notice the drive meter situation. He's below 3 bars, so drive meterless conversion right into the level 3. Secure a nice life lead and get all his drive meter back. Just perfect control here from Angry Bird in the corner. Yeah, so here's the danger. Let me adjust the cam real quick. This is where Ed is extremely dangerous, and I genuinely do not remember if this comes into play here for this round. We'll see. Ed has 2 bars of super meter in the situation, and his back is to the corner. So you would think that with Ed being down alive, 2 bars of super meter, and his back in the corner, he'd be at disadvantage. But any random crouching light kick, like I mentioned, is a super good crouching light kick. You buffer that into OD Blitz. OD Blitz is safe on block. If it connects, Momochi is going for the dream combo, and that will put you nearly into burnout and carry you corner to corner and do a huge amount of damage, and then Momochi will be rushing you down in the corner. So very dangerous situation to be trying to pressure Ed. We'll see if it comes into play. I genuinely don't remember. Stand medium kick, fireball pressure. Angry Bird burning a lot of drive meter here. Yes, put himself a burnout. So once he realized how low he's in a drive meter, he said, screw it. If I'm going to burnout, I'm going to burnout on my own terms. So it gets the low forward fireball. There's very little way he's going to avoid being put in the burnout in this situation. So he decides to use it on a drive rush cancel for one more offensive push. Misses the throw opportunity. So Momochi here, this situation is very interesting. So after spending the drive rush cancel on the light kick, he goes for a drive rush jab once again to set up the block stun situation. And as always, drive rush jab means strike throw. So what does Angry Bird do here? He backs up in order to bait the throw. And Momochi's response is really key. He does jump back light kick. Jump back light kick is the answer to shimmy or throw tech. So if you jump back and do light kick, if they whiff the throw and you're airborne, that light kick will actually hit you and punish you. Now, you can potentially recover from that early and hit Momochi out of the air, but it's like a safer option to do because it forces people to have to think about it. They might not be ready. If he's not ready for it, he'll be able to land and get away from it, and he avoids the shimmy throw mix-up situation. He survives this interaction. Angry Bird and burnout, 0 super meter to Angry Bird's name. And then he misses his throw. I think Angry Bird wanted to go in and potentially make Momochi bite on a shimmy, but he just got too close. Went too close with the sun, right? I'm fairly certain he was looking to see. You see here in this last few frames, he's walking in and then he's walking back, but he just got too close. Went in a little too deep for the shimmy. He definitely wanted to bait out that reaction, and so instead of getting the shimmy here, he gets back thrown into the corner, which is a horrible position to be. Yep. Okay. So once again, the same principle. So Angry Bird has, he's in burnout. He has no super meter, which means he has no answer to a true, not a true string, but a block string into DI. There's absolutely no way he can get out of it. So Ed can set that up with doing stand fierce, block stand fierce into DI, or drive rush medium punch into DI. But he has a huge amount of life. If you stun him and don't kill him, all of his drive meter is going to come back. So you kind of want to milk this burnout because it's very early in the timer and he doesn't have much meter. You want to try to get a bit more damage on him before cashing out with the guaranteed burnout. So Momochi exerts his pressure, backs up after the fierce doesn't connect to make sure that Angry Bird can't get out of the corner. Here the anti-air is ready, gets the juggle, gets the safe jump in there. Now he decides to cash out with the guaranteed DI. Critical art on Momochi's side. But yeah, he just spends a little bit of bar right there. He doesn't want to go into the CA because he wants to drop his combo. I forgot about this match. Oh my goodness. So I love this conversion. Once he gets the stun, he sets up the stun combo with the charge fierce, and then he does the OD flicker conversion, heavy flicker, medium blitz, light DP. That sets up an empty jump situation for Momochi. He lands the empty jump, and all he has to do is not drop the combo. Short, crouching light punch, stand light punch, drive rush, jab, medium punch. That should have connected. It would have been drive rush, heavy kick, stand fierce, command dash into heavy blitz into CA, which would have killed for sure. He got the winning hit, but he drops it, drops the combo. And then noticing the situation, Angry Bird goes for drive reversal. Drive reversal against burnout, you know, it's actually safe because normally drive reversal is -6. So when it's in burnout, when your opponent is in burnout and they block your drive reversal, it's only -2. And then no one can actually punish that. Drive reversal is safe, so he's working his way out of the corner. Jumps out of range where light DP wouldn't be available. But the reaction here from Momochi. Angry Bird, I don't know if it was just the, you know, it's in his blood to be a little offensive. He loves playing an offensive Ken. He goes for the drive rush stand MK here to start the offense at a range where it feels like Momochi wouldn't be ready. If Momochi tried to press a button here after the flicker recovery, he for sure would have gotten smoked. So the only options he has here to actually interrupt this are his level 1 or level 3. Of course, if it's level 3, it's going to get the kill. So Momochi behind this is buffering level 3, and he's so ready for the drive rush. I don't even think drive rush jab would have saved Angry Bird there. Once you start drive rushing, you're committed to do an offensive action. There's nothing you can do to stop it. You have to do something. So that was super smart there from Momochi to be ready for that. So claim the victory. After a snatching defeat from the jaws of victory, he manages to pick up the scramble and get the W. And that was game 1. Immediately empty run back in. Crouching medium kick check from Momochi to get the knockdown. And then I like this post throw situation. Stand medium kick from Ken is super powerful. I believe it's 6 frames. Let me double check on that. We'll do it live, show the FAT website that I use. So this is full meter FAT online. Let's look up Ken real quick. Ken. And stand medium kick is, oh, it's 8 frame startup, excuse me. 8 frame startup. But has a ton of range. So super strong move right there. Really great like post throw tech situation to get a hitbox out there. And then see, yeah, Momochi is also trying to use his post throw tech option, which is towards heavy punch, the Superman punch from Ed. Great way to get back in after a throw tech situation. You can see towards fierce here from Ed coming out, and then the interruption from Angry Bird right there. Drive rush jab. Momochi's not biting.
Reacted to that big full screen drive rush, almost full screen anyway.
Interesting. I think Angry Bird messed up here. So I mentioned the perfect parry drive rush OS. The same thing, you use that against fireballs traditionally, but Ed's flickers are essentially projectiles. They're fireballs. So when Ed does like a string, like stand medium kick into the light flicker here, you can actually do a perfect parry drive rush option select like you would against fireball. So he lands the perfect parry here. Basically, you do parry and then dash behind it. If you get a regular parry, nothing happens. You just are in the blue, and then you just release parry like normal. But if you get a perfect parry and you dash behind it, the drive rush would immediately come out and you would get a punish. So I think he messed up his perfect parry drive rush right there, and he could have had a punish for sure. Standing heavy kick, spacing the nooch. Backing up because I think he likes to have his approach options. So Ed's mid-range when you're like half screen away are really strong. Stand medium kick and the flickers really cover that range really well. But Ken excels at burst options, including doing things like OD Fireball, which would neutralize all of Ed's fireballs, and he can drive rush in behind it. So with space, he has the option for doing empty jumps to bait out anti-airs, run step kick, or drive rush jab, for example, or OD Fireball drive rush. So a lot more options for Ken to set up offensive burst pressure rather than just trying to fight out the footsie range up close where Ed dominates more. So I like how Momochi recognized that and walked into the footsie range.
Not to like make a stereotype against the Japanese playstyle, but
nice DI. This is a commitment here. So he uses the fireball, does Angry Bird to drive rush in behind it. And then as soon as he gets in, he does the low forward into Jinrai to start the offensive mix. And then Momochi does immediate DI. Now, I don't know. I don't think he reacted to the Jinrai. I think he just committed to it. But it's smart because essentially it's a guaranteed DI on this string. He has no level 3 to cancel into to bait the DI. So it's just an immediate punish counter. And then side swap, nice little side swap combo. He could have forced burnout by doing stand fierce into DI, but he wouldn't have had the corner. And he's on a low drive meter situation after doing OD flicker, so just walk under DP. Fake safe jump, yeah. Momochi likes to do manual safe jumps and they whiff sometimes. Getting a true safe jump from funky setups is very tight. But look, Angry Bird's not dissuaded. Stand light kicking the Jinrai. Momochi, he tries to press crouching light kick. This is an option to interrupt the overhead mix. What you are aiming to do is time your button so that you option select the punish. You block you press the button so late that you block if the low Jinrai extension comes out. But if they go for the overhead, there's a gap there, then your button would actually come out and punish it. So Momochi's aiming for that with the crouching light kick right here. He just did it too early. Ends up eating a counter hit for it. Conversion there from Angry Bird. Checked. I'm surprised he went for the stand light punch. I guess he just felt an overextension there from Angry Bird. And then I guess Angry Bird felt an overextension from Momochi. These guys are mashing. They're mashing. Drive rush jab gets the back throw. Fireball time from Angry Bird. Yep. Ooh. Spooky situation. So he finds the drive rush in, gets traded with the stand medium. So that means, actually, I don't even know who has frame advantage, but Momochi presses first right here, and then Angry Bird jumped into the corner. He wasn't expecting the drive rush offensive pressure, I don't think, out of that situation. He just happened to jump over, finds the light kick buffer. Low forward drive rush jab to the tick throw, spending the drive meter to get an offensive guess. Counter hit is drive rush. Once again, using the fireball here. Fireball drive rush is also a key part of this. So he has him in the corner essentially after this this throw connects. So fireball, drive rush in behind it. Immediate stand fierce gets the pressure. It looks like Momochi tried to challenge here. Eats a counter hit. Combo conversion. Overhead connects. If this is meaty enough, you do get a combo. I'm not sure if you get a meaty setup exactly from that DP conversion. And this is, once again, this is where Ed is most dangerous. With his back against the wall, Momochi has 2 bars. He's about to have 3 bars of super meter. He's looking for any random light button to convert into the OD Blitz to get the dream combo. So there's the first one, crouch and light kicking the OD Blitz, safe on block, but space, so Momochi challenges after. Oh my god, I forgot about this. Interesting use of the fireball. Fireball there. The Psycho Spark, it's not like a traditional fireball. You could have the Psycho Spark out first before extending it, but he hit confirm that it went in, that it made contact and canceled the level 3 to bait out the drive meter situation. Angry Bird about to go in burnout. See, once again, he's backing off when the dry meter is low. He's giving up the space, but he's avoiding the strong ranges that Ed plays at and finds a surprise jump in, because once again, Ed is a little bit weaker at the anti-air and the scrambles. But Momochi is fighting strong here. Towards heavy punch. Wow. Yeah, towards heavy punch is really good from Ed to chunk away the drive meter on block. And then Angry Bird goes for the surprise drive rush here. I'm really surprised by this option from Angry Bird, and I like how Momochi. See, this is very interesting to me. I think Momochi was thinking that Angry Bird would go into Jinrai to counter DI it after the low forward, but he had level 3, so I think he could have just countered that with his own level 3. So I feel like that was a Twitch reaction from Momochi that might have cost him here, but it happened to work out because he did stagger into drive rush instead. Now he's in the corner. Wake up! Low forward there. You thought you were winning in that position. So, of course, what's going on here is Angry Bird has 3 bars of super meter. He has some invincible reversals, level 1 and level 3 at his disposal. So as Momochi's approaching, you are going for both a throw shimmy bait here, but also you're backing up so that if he wakes up with a reversal, you're safe. But also if he wakes up with a throw, the throw will whiff. So what is the counter to people trying to bait your throw safely and get out of the way of your throw? Wake up low forward, call out the walk back. So Angry Bird, in the moment, felt like Momochi was trying to bait both the super and the throw. Calls it out with the low forward. Actually, it was counter hit. Yeah, I think Momochi tried to stagger with what I said. So he tried to do it a little bit late. If he did reversal level 3, he actually would have blocked it. But he tried to delay at post wake up to bait out a reversal flash and then go for offensive pressure. Gets counter hit for his troubles. Level 3 conversion. So 1-1 between the champs. EVO 2015 champ, by the way, and Ultra Street Fighter 4, the last Street Fighter 4 EVO champ with Momochi. Drive rush here now from Momochi, representing that was primarily Angry Bird's approach here. Back to the mid-range that Ed excels at. The step kick again. I love the drive rush as well. So step kick is such an abusable tactic against Ed. And then he goes in, the subtle walk in, walk out for the shimmy after the step kick connects. Doesn't connect, but he sees the whiff fierce and decides to use that as an opening to drive rush in. But Momochi actually ends up taking the throw. The pace is picking up high. Lots of space in heavy kick. Such a strong button from Ken. Really strong against Ed. Spacing it perfectly every time. Stand medium kick buffer after. Beats the flicker. Parries on the charge flicker. So charge flicker is kind of a mini game. You could theoretically jump it, but he could be charging the air flicker instead. You don't really know which one he's charging. Could have pulled him out of the air. You could also DI it if you're quick enough. If you're too slow though, he can backdash away from it and actually juke your DI. The parry, what it does is if he grabs you and pulls you in, he's +4 no matter what. But with parry, it actually increases the pushback, and you also get a bit of drive meter back when you parry it. Ed's still +4, but he's not point blank, so he can't as easily go for a throw in that situation. So I think what Angry Bird was thinking here was because he did the parry, he's too far away to be thrown. Optimal position here would be for Momochi to go for a back throw. So in order to do that, he'd have to walk into range to throw him. And I think Momochi was thinking that, or sorry, Angry Bird was thinking he was going to go for a throw. So I can't tell what he pressed here, but he tried to either press a jab to interrupt a walk forward or a throw tech to defend against back throw, but just eats a counter hit medium kick. Momochi gets a conversion, meaty pressure. Angry Bird is thinking that Momochi's going to respect the pressure here. And look at this drop. Another critical drop. So this command dash from Ed, it's not hard to land, but you have to keep in mind, most competitors play the vast majority of their tournaments on PC, which has optimal input delay reduction and has the fastest response time. These tournaments at EVO, are on often overheating, laggy PS5s. Generally at EVO, you're playing on the worst conditions possible. It's just how it is. At big open bracket tournaments, you are usually playing on subpar conditions. So Momochi has actually been dropping a lot of these combos. In Ed's command dash, there's 2 enders to the command dash. You activate it. If you press punch early, you get this light upper, and if you press punch in a later window, you get the heavier upper, which lets you get more juggle combos. So usually you're going for the delayed one. It's a manual timing, so it's definitely a window where you can drop it. And here he is dropping it again. It's only -6, I believe, on block, so it's hard to punish, and the block turns really quick, so he doesn't get punished for the drop. But just that was a key moment. He would have had another heavy blitz extension and would have had momentum to the corner. So a big drop there. Another chance of life here for Angry Bird. And this crouch and like it, like I mentioned before. This is the option select that you go for on the Jinrai. So if after you block Jinrai, if you time your button just right, if you have a button that has enough range, you can time it so that Jojo, he's pulling the mic cables. Jojo, come on. He's got Piggy. Okay, go. As I was saying, if you time your button, you can time it so that you would block the low Jinrai follow-up, but also press it early enough at the same time that if they go for the overhead, there's a gap and you interrupt. So in this situation, after blocking the Jinrai, Momochi finds the timing, right? So he blocks the Jinrai and then interrupts that overhead attempt by pressing crouch and light kick. He could have converted that if he was super ready, buffered that into like a DP or a blitz, but just gets the crouch and light kick to interrupt that. But still in range because he didn't convert it for the low forward driver's cancel. Wow. So Angry Bird goes for the neutral jump bait here, looking for potentially a throw out of Ed. Neutral jump in this situation will beat both throw and OD DP reversal. Momochi actually tries to guess throw and just escape the corner with the up forward, but you know, the fierce punch still knocks him back down to the corner, maintains corner control. Once again, post throw tech situation, common option we've seen from Momochi, did it before, towards heavy punch. Really great for occupying space after. There's always like an RPS that occurs after both people tech a throw, and this time it's Momochi landing and counter hitting Angry Bird's drive rush forward. Plus frames on that. You don't get a combo on the counter hit towards heavy punch, so you are +3, I believe. Crouch and light kick buffer to the flicker to check him. Low drive meter situation. This is a really bad spot here for Angry Bird. Yeah, counter hit again. He's trying to take his turn back in every situation. He didn't want to be forced to block anything. Blocking was death in that situation, so Angry Bird just looking for any openings potentially. Would rather die swinging in that scenario. Driver's jab again. And this is a key mid-screen throw defensive option. So Momochi senses a strike throw mix after the drive rush jab, and once again, instead of pressing jump light kick here, he just jumps back. Yes, there are possible punish options if the person is sitting there waiting for you to jump back. They can drive rush in and get fancy punishes, but they have to be really trying to bait that. So jumps away from the throw. Angry Bird immediately drive rushes back in. Momochi tries to parry that one, gets thrown. Challenge on the shimmy, low forward to DI out of nowhere. Are you reacting to that after how much is going on here? Offensive pressure here from Angry Bird. Yeah, so after this throw situation here, you get the meaty stand heavy punch. It is indeed plus on block if you do it meaty. I think +2 at best. So stand heavy punch here. Stand heavy punch, startup 10, active, 5 frames active. So -2 on block, which means at best it would be +1. Is that correct? -2, -1. 0, 1, 2, no, +2, excuse me. The quick math is to add the active frames plus on block -1. So 5 plus -2 is 3, -1 is +2. So at best it's +2. So you can definitely get this plus on block. And then Angry Bird uses that to get stand light kick, drive rush cancel, simple combo conversion. And this time the neutral jump bait works. You see how deep he walks into Momochi's grill? Walks extra deep in there where you have to expect a potential throw mix. Momochi can't afford to take a throw in this situation, so he has to guess strike throw. He guesses throw, and then the delayed tech is punished by the neutral jump heavy punch. Final game, final round between these two competitors in winners round 4. They both drive rush jab. This is crazy. I mean, you will not dissuade Angry Bird from doing drive rush, but the answer to the drive rush jab from Angry Bird's Ken is for Momochi to do drive rush jab with Ed. So somehow that's what it is. You can see the startup here. Instead of doing drive rush jab like he's done almost every other opening, this time Angry Bird goes for drive rush low forward, which is like going for the gusto right there. You clip their toes with that in the start of the round. You spend, you drive rush cancel after that. You spend 4 bars right away to get a full combo conversion to the corner. Maybe burn level 3 right away to build your drive meter back. And you're in a great position to win the set here. But Momochi does drive rush jab and just barely counter hits Angry Bird out of the crouching medium kick. Gets the combo conversion. This sets up a safe jump. So Ed's medium punch, heavy punch into heavy blitz. Sets up a mid-screen safe jump. Gets in. Uses that with a plus frame. Stand heavy kick is plus. Lets him do medium punch as a frame trap. Cancels in the flicker to end the string. And once again, okay. Drive rush throw attack. Momochi guessing around on these interactions. Uses this time. I love this from Momochi. This is the first time he set up the same situation. He notices that there's nothing on the screen for Angry Bird. He throws out the Psycho Spark into the fireball. Drive rushes, dashes first to get up close, which you kind of have to do with Ed. His drive rush isn't as crazy as Ken's. Dash in, drive rush in, halts his momentum with the charge flicker. Because if for example, Angry Bird tried to check after the fireball in case he felt there was a gap there, you can then charge the flicker here and get the punish on it. And worst comes to worst, they block it. You get some plus frames right here. Spaced out though with the parry, and this is something that's key as well. We haven't seen this too much in the fireball battle. Ed Psycho Spark always has the initial Psycho Spark before the fireball, but part of that lets him clash with fireballs first before throwing out his own. So it's a key integral part of the fireball battle. So he clears the fireball from Ken and then throws his own. Stab kick attempt from Angry Bird, but a little bit misspaced, right? You can see him still trying to incorporate that strategy. This time was a bit too far away. I love this walk under. So Angry Bird, you know, the surprise jumps are definitely a strong part of the strategy of Ken against Momochi, against Ed. This time he actually goes, instead of going at an empty jump range, he's going for an offensive jump this time. And it's really hard to anti-air this as Ed, like split second reaction. The Ken jump fierce comes down on you really quick, but this is great spacing recognition from Momochi. He recognizes that it's just a little bit too close, where if he holds forward, which is scary against a jump in that hits as low as Ken's, if he holds forward, he can actually just clear this jump in and walk directly underneath it. If he went for a cross-up jump, he would just simply block the cross-up. But if he goes for a regular jump in, like a jump fierce, he can actually punish this on the other side, and that's exactly what Momochi does. Walks under the close range jump heavy punch, finds the counter hit jab, or punish counter jab, jab OD blitz, uses the level 2, goes for a basic combo because he's too close to the corner. And look at this, look at the pressure. This is really strong too, because also the level 2 will burn a bar of drive meter. So level 2 conversion is definitely key here for Momochi. Get the corner carry, build your own resources while you're doing this, and take a bar of drive meter here and do good damage. So he gets the corner carry here, and he's already building back like a fourth of a bar of super meter while he's doing this, by the way. Gets a safe jump, and look, he recognizes once he sees that Angry Bird is not parrying on this jump in, he immediately takes this opportunity to do some safe drive chip pressure. So jump in heavy punch to heavy punch into OD fireball, which is -2 on block. That's like the best airtight string you can get there and be safe to do drive meter chip. And then he's not quite on burnout, but super close. It is -2 though. Angry Bird knows that. Counter hit jab, he retaliates. Jab buffered immediately into Jinrai. And he goes into level 3. He recognized the situation that it was his turn, uses it to buffer to Jinrai, sees the counter hit, does the level 3, and he has to do that in order to keep his drive meter alive, because burnout is probably death. And now Momochi, on the other hand, is in the orange as well with Angry Bird in terms of drive meter. Offensive, oh, this is key. Offensive drive rush jab, spinning the bar when he's pretty low in drive meter. And then once again, Momochi, this is so, it's got to be so frustrating for Angry Bird. His mid-screen throw defensive strategy, just jump away. You know, he keeps spending his crucial meter at this point. He's so low in drive meter, and he's still spending these bars to get these strike throw situations. And Momochi is just holding up back and getting away from the situation entirely. And so at this point, I feel like Angry Bird, this is a risk. It could have worked. It could have landed. Could have got him the win. But he wanted to get back in and keep the offensive pressure going. He goes for the Dragon Lash, which is very quick. It's +1 on block. It gets the offensive pressure started, but it can be DI'd, it can be jabbed, and it can be perfect parried. This is huge. So with the perfect parry scaling added to this patch, it's not going to do too much drive meter damage. The first punish counter will do half a bar here, but every bar here is crucial at this amount. And look at the, oh no, look at the resource building, but also the drop. So remember when I mentioned earlier that, you know, the command dash from Ed, it requires you to manually time your command dash follow-up for this combo. For this combo, you're going to want to do the command dash and get the late punch ender. But what Momochi accidentally does, he accidentally presses the command dash too early, which gives the first window ender, which doesn't pop them up high enough to get this juggle combo. So the heavy blitz then whiffs right here, which is a huge, huge drop. Fortunately for Momochi, this is such a scramble, such a tense situation that Angry Bird only punishes with the jab. You can punish with whatever you want. Heavy blitz has a ton of recovery. He definitely could have done like a heavy punch punish. Starting with a jab heavily scales your combo, so this is not going to do as much damage as it could have. But he gets the run Tatsu conversion to push towards the corner. I love the fireball again. Such a good hitbox to get out there to prevent forward movement. And look at Angry Bird. Whenever he's spaced out, one of the common options is run step kick, which is what he goes for again in this situation. But this time, Momochi preemptively put out the Psycho Spark hitbox to prevent the run step kick from connecting. Counter hits Momochi right there. And a little bit too far away. If he was closer, he could have potentially got a crouching light kick into OD Blitz. But remember, Ed is in the corner. He has level 2 available. This is a dangerous, dangerous situation for Angry Bird. This is when Ed is at his most dangerous, when his back is to the wall and he has level 2 available, because you know he's going to be buffering any light into OD Blitz to land the Dream combo. And a Dream is what Momochi needs right now to take it over the current reigning EVO 2023 champion in his bracket, Angry Bird. So what happens here? Love the jump option here, right? So as I mentioned before, space jump-ins are hard for Ed to deal with. He has to think about a couple of options. If it's up close, light DP is pretty consistent, but at this ambiguous range, that split second where you have to think about it, do you want to do medium DP, light DP, what do you want to do? It can cost you the round if you attempt to then go for an anti-air. So what Angry Bird goes for here is instead jump heavy kick, a long-range jump-in to get offensive pressure from a far-range jump where Momochi might not be ready to anti-air. Gets the Jinrai pressure here. Momochi then approaches with the, after it takes his turn back with the crouching medium punch, the low driver's cancel, gets the plus frame on the stand jab here, which is now going to be +2 and Angry Bird's grill. And a Dream. Gets the delayed heavy blitz, gets the pickup, doesn't even need the full Dream conversion, and Momochi puts the reigning EVO champion into the loser's bracket. It happened all so quick. After defending here properly, defends the Jinrai mix, he takes his turn back, walk forward, crouching medium punch into the dry rush cancel, and then let's take a look here. So Momochi could have potentially gone for a back throw or something of that nature to put him into the corner. He is plus here, he earned the plus frames, but Angry Bird going for the jab, wild ban here. So this is a +2 situation. This is a 7-frame medium. So he ends up trading with this jab here, which is nuts to see, right? Stand jab from Ken is how fast? 4 frames. Actually, no, driver's jab should be +3 actually. Yeah, that should be +3 from Ken. Let's double check on that one. And then stand medium punch is a 7-frame startup. So it'll, with +3, that means 4-frame moves will hit on the first frame of stand medium punch, and then they will trade. So Momochi was not only prepared to go for this offensive sequence, he was prepared for this medium punch to actually trade. And on the trade conversion, of course, as an Ed player, you know, on any trade, you're mashing crouch light kick into your OD blitz. So he was so ready for this trade to occur, which gives him enough frame advantage, because a medium trading with a light, you're going to have the frame advantage there. You're inflicting more block stun with your medium than they are with their light on you. So he's ready for that. Goes for the crouch and light kick right after this trade is complete. And it combos. It's 2 hits right there. And when you're pressing crouch and light kick with Ed and you have level 2, you're going into OD Blitz. It converts. And this is the moment where the hours and hours and hours and hours and hours of practice that Momochi went through, I mean, for weeks, once he started discovering these level 2 DC combos, all he did was sit around for hours grinding these combos, and he started hitting them very consistently in competitions in Japan, tearing up Topanga League in Japan with these conversions. So now on the biggest stage, he just knew he needed to not drop this, even though he dropped almost every other bread and butter combo leading up to this moment. When it came to the clutch, he got the desync, which allows the, you do a manually delayed heavy punch blitz right here. You delay by a few frames. You actually, for a visual cue, you hold down after throwing the level 2. When you see Ed crouch a little bit crouch animation, that's when you activate the heavy punch blitz. The heavy punch blitz will connect and then rip them out of the level 2 somehow. And then the dream combo begins. It bounces them back into the level 2. You then do a delay DP for the juggle follow-up, DP for the second hit, and the combo would keep going if he had enough life, but it ends right there, and Angry Bird goes into loser's bracket. So really excellent match right there. We saw a lot of how Angry Bird was using that mid-range game to mix in his offensive approach to counter Ed's strong neutral game. Drive rush jabs, drive rush medium kicks, fireball drive rush, spaced out jump options, the run step kick, doing a lot of options at those ranges where it's ambiguous for Ed to control. But we saw Momochi as well fighting back very strongly and countering Angry Bird's antsy defensive options and keeping things airtight on offense on his end in order to get these conversions to take the set. And with the reigning EVO champion in loser's bracket, we will next see how he was eventually eliminated by a player who was above all hungry to finally crack his way into the top 6 and get to the EVO main stage after being cut short so many times before. Keep a lookout for that one, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.